Welcome to POV. And no, it's not what you think it is. Well, it's not got to that stage yet. But this is where I give my point of view on the latest happenings in football. One thing I've noticed recently is quite a few ex-Arsenal players have come out in the news reporting on why they left, how they left, what was going on before they left, how they regretted leaving Arsenal, how certain things happened before they left Arsenal. Essentially getting their point across before someone else. Essentially getting their point across to the papers. And you think to yourself, why? Why does anyone care? Especially when it's like 5-6 years after they left. Why do we care? Why do they feel the need to get this out now? Well, because not all these stories are bad. I mean, if you recently read the Nielsen one, it was quite touching the way he spoke about Arsene Wenger and how his time at Arsenal was very lonely, and it was part of the reason why he couldn't really settle, and his career at Arsenal wasn't as good as wasn't what it was expected to be. And then you get the ones where Robin van Persie, Robin van Persie, he does like to talk, doesn't he? Anyway, you got the Robin van Persie one where he says that he didn't get offered a contract, which is why he didn't stay at Arsenal. But we knew that. We kind of already knew that as Arsenal fans. We knew that in and around that time, Van Persie wasn't going to sign a contract, and then he was toing and froing and essentially trying to play the game, trying to keep Arsenal fans on his side while still trying to angle for a move away. We knew that at the time. I think it was around the time, the West Brom game, I think it was, for some reason, Steve Clarke was manager. But I knew at that point that he weren't going to sign a new deal. But apparently, for some reason, he needs to reiterate that he wasn't offered a contract. Why is this? And then we've got Cesc Fabregas coming out and doing a similar thing, giving reasons why he left Arsenal, giving reasons how he left Arsenal. Essentially, just justification of his time before he left. Are they trying to get back in with the Arsenal fans? Do we mean that much to them? Or is it the fact that Arsene Wenger's coming out with a book in October and he's probably going to spill the beans on a lot of things that happened while he was there? Big things that people want to know. Things such as the reason why one of our best strikers in years left to one of our biggest rivals. Why we let go of the best youngster we've bred from our youth academy in the last 15 to 20 years. I'm putting it down to that. Call me a cynic, but I feel like they're trying to get their story in before Arsene Wenger gets his out. But there is one thing I will say. As an Arsenal fan, we move on. We move on from these players that we used to adore. But there's just something about Robin van Persie that I can't like. I was well over the fact that he left. It was years ago. Not even bothered. Like, well over it. Cesc Fabregas, again, well over it. Seems like a very nice guy. Checking out his tweets. You end up following him. You fall in love with him again. But Robin van Persie, there's something about Robin van Persie that's just like that ex you always want to hate. And it's nothing to do with the fact that he left to Man United. Again, because you get over it. It just seems like it's the things that he's saying. He's constantly trying to justify everything he does when no one really cares. So Robin, leave it, mate, because no one's bothered. And I'm sure we'll find out the truth of what happened, as if we didn't know already, when Arsene Wenger releases his book. Hopefully, it's a lot more open than what many of us think. Next. So this is a big one. Newcastle are about to be taken over by big sheikhs. Big sheikhs. No, not big sheikhs. You know, ones who oil. They're about to be taken over by a load of people that earn a lot of money. They're about to be taken over by people who are stinking rich. Like, stinking rich. Like, rich. They're about to be taken over by some oil merchants. Essentially, people are saying they're going to run the Premier League. This cannot happen. Why? Because of FFP. And previously we've seen that people who have a shed load of money don't always win stuff straight away. It takes time. First of all, you have to get the bang average players or the half decent players who are no longer good enough to play for your club off the books. It's not that easy. Then you have to get people in. You have to get the right people in, not mercenaries, not people at the end of their career, not dud footballers who actually haven't got it anymore, not overpaying for crap players. Like, there's a lot of things you have to go through. Oh, and plus you've still got to get rid of your manager and get someone in. It's not that easy. Let's go through the clubs that in the past have had shed loads of money and still not won anything for at least a season or two. Chelsea. Chelsea's done it with Roman Abramovich. They had Claudio Ranieri in their first season. They bought everyone. Players from Kesman to Crespo to Joe Cole to Duff to Robin. They bought everyone. Did they win it in their first year? No. And FFP weren't even a twinkle in UEFA's eye at that point. They weren't swimming around in no nutsacks. Get out of it. Boom. Next. Man City. Man City had a shed load of money. They had, was it Taksin Sinawatra? They called him Taksin Sinatra and used to sing old Frank Sinatra songs about him. They had loads of money. They bought in Robinho. They bought in Joe. They bought in... who did they bring in the first time? Who else? Who else was it? Who was that Brazilian player? Who was actually decent. Oh, no, I'm going to have to do it. Sorry. Man City Brazilian players.
Professional athletes frequently mentioned on the web include Gabriel Jesus, Fernandinho.
Stop. Elano used to score bangers. Like, they had a team. They've always had a team. Like, not always, but like when they got loads of money, they had a team. They bought Dunn. Like, back in the day. Didn't win anything. Then they had to do it. They tried it again. They got in Mark Hughes. Didn't win anything. Like, come on. And these people had loads of money. Then they got in the right manager. They got in Mancini. They won the league. They won the FA Cup. They won the Carling Cup. Then they got in Pep Guardiola. What's his name? Manuel Pellegrini and Pep Guardiola. Like, it takes time. Should we go again? Liverpool. What did Liverpool win for the first 2 seasons under Klopp? And they had loads of money. And before that, when they had money, they bought dud players. Rubbish players, like absolute trash. But you have to go through that to slowly build yourself up to the top. Otherwise, you're going to buy mercenaries and you're going to buy players that are overpriced and just simply not good enough. It takes time. So no doubt, because of Newcastle's excellent fan base. No doubt, because Newcastle are the only club in Newcastle. No doubt, because the fans are, I'm going back to the fan base again, are ridiculously passionate. And I would quite actually enjoy watching a Newcastle resurgence back to what they used to be when I used to enjoy watching them with the likes of Les Ferdinand, Aspria, Peter Beardsley, Alan Shearer. Did I say Alan Shearer? You know what I mean. They had David Ginola. They had some sick players and they had a sick team. And I don't mind seeing that again because it was enjoyable, and you know they will want to play attacking football. They will want to play that way because that's what the fans will ask for. There'll be cavalier football they'll ask for. They'll be like, we don't care if we win 4-3 as long as it's entertaining. And we get Europe at one point. Yeah, awful. But if you know what I mean, that's the kind of fans they are. They want to win in style, and if they lose 4-3 or draw 4-4, they've had a good day. And that's what I feel their fans are about. So it's about time. It's about taking your time. And these pictures of Mbappe and Oblak and all these in your team, it's not possible. It's simply not possible. Why? Because you wouldn't be able to get all them players into your squad at one time. FFP wouldn't allow it. So calm down. I'm not being salty. I'm just stating facts. Tell me I'm wrong. and we'll have a debate. Next.